Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're digging into a really serious health situation up in Sunderland, UK. We've got this report, Texto Colato, and it shows, well, about a quarter of adults there are dangerously overweight.
Yeah, the numbers are pretty staggering. And the projections, looking ahead, the potential cost to the NHS, it could shoot past 50 billion a year by 2050 if things don't change.
50 billion? Wow. And the Royal Hospital of Sunderland, they're right in the middle of this, aren't they?
They really are. They've actually set up the UK's busiest unit just for treating overweight patients. They see, over 3,000 people every single year?
That's incredible volume. But the report makes a key point, something the medical team really stresses. Surgery isn't some kind of quick fix.
Exactly. It's not magic. They're clear that, lasting change really boils down to personal commitment, diet, lifestyle. You have to be ready to change things long term.
Okay, so let's make this more concrete. Let's talk about one of the people mentioned, Doreen Thomas. She's 56, just starting out on this journey.
Doreen's story really puts a human face on these stats. At her heaviest, back when she was 41, she weighed over 31 stone. That's almost 200 kilograms.
31 stone. That's hard to even imagine. And it's affected her life dramatically, right? Sleeping downstairs.
Yeah, for nearly a year now, she's been sleeping in her living room because mobility is such an issue. It really shows how profoundly this can impact just, everyday living.
And she's quite open about what she sees as the problem.
She is. She says it's a sweet tooth.
Yeah.
Simple as that, in her words. The report also mentions her friend Sharon, sort of voicing that question many people might have. Why? How did you let it get to this point,
Yeah, that external perspective. But Doreen seems to have hit a critical point herself.
Definitely. She said, and this really hits home, this is my last chance to live beyond the next few years. That's powerful motivation.
It really is. And she's already taking steps, losing weight on her own.
That's right. She's lost 5 kilos independently, which is significant because it shows that drive, that personal effort the doctors say is so crucial before they'll even consider surgery. It's like a prerequisite.
Okay, then there's Laura Lamb. A different situation. She's 29, a housewife, been in treatment for 3 years already.
And Laura's journey, it highlights how tough this can be. She's actually been turned down for surgery twice because she didn't meet the weight loss targets they set for her.
Twice? That must be incredibly difficult. Does she talk about how things started for her?
She does. Laura believes her weight problems really began after she had postpartum depression, depression after having a baby. And then it got worse when she was grieving a childhood friend who died.
So complex emotional factors involved there.
Absolutely. She even mentions being afraid of being judged, like as a bad mother. It gives you a glimpse into those social pressures, the fear.
Yeah.
It's not just about food.
No, clearly not. Her husband, Tony, he's supportive.
Yes, the report mentions his support. But despite that, she's still finding it really hard to break those eating patterns. There was this quite dramatic ultimatum mentioned.
Oh, what was that?
At her last appointment, they basically told her, lose 2 kilos in 3 days, or the surgery's off the table.
3 days. That's intense pressure.
It really is. And it sort of shows that fine line the medical team has to walk, offering help, but also leading the patient to be fully ready for the big life changes needed.
Yeah, it brings us back to that idea that obesity isn't just a number. It's physical, emotional, social, all tangled up.
Exactly. And the report notes, quite rightly, that most patients, people like Doreen and Laura, they've tried countless diets before they even get to the point of considering surgery. This isn't usually the first stop.
So it's definitely not about a lack of trying before.
Not at all. And surgery, again, it's presented as a tool, a starting point maybe, but not the complete fix. It enables change maybe, but doesn't guarantee it.
When you put it all together, the team at Sunderland Royal Hospital, they're really, they're on the front line, aren't they? Fighting a tough battle.
They really are. Dealing with a major public health issue day in, day out. And offering, some hope to people who've often been struggling for a very long time.
So wrapping up, the big takeaway seems to be that tackling obesity, especially on this scale, it needs everything. Medical help is vital, yes, but that individual commitment to real, sustainable lifestyle change is paramount. Doreen's and Laura's stories just drive that home so powerfully.
Yeah, they really do. And perhaps it leaves you, the listener, with something to think about. Consider those hidden factors, the emotional stuff, the social pressures that might be impacting health challenges. Not just weight, but anything. What are those non-medical battles people might be fighting silently, all around us?
But some interesting science is emerging that might offer some clues. We've been digging into recent research, some from just 2023 actually, about metabolism.
Right, and specifically this idea that metabolic rates aren't, well, they're not one size fits all. They vary quite a bit.
Yeah.
And the research suggests a pretty significant chunk of the population, maybe heritage-wise, might just have a slower, less efficient metabolism naturally.
Which kind of shifts the perspective, doesn't it? It suggests maybe it's not entirely, your fault if weight loss is tough.
Precisely. It adds nuance to that simple calories in, calories out idea.
And this connects to something millions of us consume daily: coffee.
Ah, yes. Good old coffee.
There's actually a lot of research looking at how coffee, beyond just waking us up, might interact with our metabolism, potentially in good ways.
That's right. It's surprisingly complex stuff. Coffee has like over 1,000 different bioactive compounds in it.
1,000? Wow.
Yeah. So scientists are looking at how these compounds might nudge things like energy expenditure, fat utilization. It's fascinating.
Oh.
Our daily habits might go deeper than we think.
Okay, so coffee itself has some potential. It might sort of prime the metabolism.
That's one way to put it, yeah. Like opening a window.
But the material we looked at suggests you might be able to enhance that effect. Like maybe coffee needs a little help.
Uh-huh. The idea is, are there specific super nutrients that could work with coffee, synergistically, to really optimize those metabolic benefits?
Right. And that brings us to this product we encountered called Java Burn. It seems to be built entirely around that concept.
Exactly. The approach is, can specific ingredients combined with coffee's natural properties create something more potent? Not just adding stuff, but finding a blend that amplifies coffee's metabolic potential.
So Java Burn, it's described as a tasteless powder, dissolves instantly in coffee.
That's the claim, yes.
And the idea is by adding this nutrient blend, you upgrade your normal coffee into something that, well, more actively supports your metabolism, fat burning, gives you steady energy, maybe even helps curb hunger.
It taps into that daily ritual, taking something you likely already do, drinking coffee, and seeing if it can be augmented to support bigger health goals.
The simplicity is definitely appealing. Just add a powder.
Especially if it's genuinely tasteless.
Good point. So let's get into the details. What's actually in this formula? The first one listed is chlorogenic acid. What's the deal with that?
Okay, chlorogenic acid, it's a major component in green coffee beans before they're roasted. Research suggests it plays a role in supporting overall metabolism. And other studies also link it to maintaining healthy insulin and blood sugar levels, which, are really closely tied to how our body manages energy.
Makes sense. Okay, next up, Camellia sinensis. That's just green tea, isn't it?
It is. Green tea extract, well known for its antioxidants, of course. But the sources we reviewed also suggest it can contribute to a healthy metabolism and potentially support fat burning. There's even mention of cardiovascular benefits.
Interesting. So multiple angles there. Then there's chromium. I usually hear about that for blood sugar.
That's a very common connection, yes. And the source material backs that up, mentioning its role in supporting healthy insulin function and blood sugar levels.
Okay.
But it's also suggested to have a broader impact on metabolism itself. And, stable blood sugar often means better energy, fewer cravings.
Yeah.
Which indirectly helps with weight management too.
Right. It all connects. The formula also includes L-carnitine. What's its role?
L-carnitine. It's an amino acid derivative involved in energy production inside our cells. The info suggests it supports metabolism and fat burning specifically by helping transport fatty acids into the mitochondria to be burned for energy. It's also mentioned as potentially helping with nutrient absorption.
Got it. Okay, and L-theanine. I think of that more for focus or calm.
You're right, that's what it's most known for. Its calming effects, potential cognitive boosts.
Yeah.
But interestingly, the sources we looked at also suggest it might play a part in supporting metabolism and maybe even reducing hunger sensations.
That's quite a combo. Metabolism support and less hunger.
Potentially, yes. An interesting mix of effects.
And finally, there's a vitamin complex, just generally for well-being.
Seems like it. The claims are around supporting immune function, natural energy production, and just overall well-being. It rounds out the formula, suggesting a holistic approach.
Right, supporting the whole system.
It emphasizes that general health is foundational for any specific goal, like weight management.
And they also make a point of saying it's plant-based ingredients, non-GMO, no soy, no dairy.
Yes, ticking those boxes many consumers look for now. Natural, easy to fit into different lifestyles.
Plus, the tasteless dissolves easily, non-habit forming aspects. Those seem key for compliance.
Absolutely. If it's easy and doesn't disrupt your routine, you're more likely to stick with it. The lack of taste is crucial for coffee lovers.
Definitely. So, how do you actually use it? Is it complicated?
Sounds incredibly simple, actually. Just take one of the single-serving packets, rip it open, stir it into your coffee, hot or cold.
Any coffee?
Any coffee. And drink it like normal. With food, without food, doesn't matter, apparently.
Okay. Is there a best time of day?
They suggest the morning. Using it with your morning coffee seems to be the recommendation.
Why is that?
Well, the thinking is probably to sort of kickstart your metabolism earlier in the day, maybe get those potential benefits rolling throughout your most active hours.
That makes sense. Now, something I saw was they call it a nutritional serum, but it's a powder. What's that about?
Yeah, that term serum seems intentional. They're using it to highlight potential advantages in absorption.
Ah, okay.
Like claiming it offers faster absorption, maybe starting under the tongue and then in the stomach.
Oh.
Better bioavailability is another claim, meaning your body actually gets and uses more of the nutrients.
So more bang for your buck nutrient-wise.
That's the idea.
Yeah.
They also mention things like precise dosing in the packets, better shelf life, no fillers or additives, and that it mixes better than some other powders might.
So emphasizing quality and efficiency. What about safety? Any concerns?
Based on the information provided, it's presented as 100% natural, generally safe, and effective. They state there are no reported side effects in the material we saw. And they mention it's made in the USA, in facilities that are FDA approved and follow good manufacturing practices, GMP.
Okay. Standard quality controls.
Right. And they reiterate it's all natural, vegetarian, gluten-free, non-GMO. But standard disclaimer applies. If you have a medical condition, definitely talk to your doctor first before trying anything new.
Always good advice. And what if someone tries it and, well, it doesn't work for them or they just don't like it?
There's a guarantee. A 60-day money-back guarantee.
60 days.
Yep. They say if you're not satisfied for any reason at all, you can return the product within 60 days of purchase for a full refund.
Even if the bottles are empty.
Even empty bottles, according to the site. They aim to process refunds quickly within about 48 hours of getting the return back. You just cover the shipping and handling costs.
That definitely lowers the barrier to entry for someone curious but maybe skeptical.
It offers a safety net for sure.
Okay, so if someone is interested, how do they buy it? What are the options?
They offer a few packages. There's a 2-bottle option, which they call a 60-day supply, that has a certain price per bottle, plus you pay for shipping.
Right.
Then there's a 3-bottle package, a 90-day supply. The price per bottle drops a bit, but shipping still applies.
And the best deal.
The one they push as the best value is the 6-bottle package. That's a 180-day supply. It has the lowest cost per bottle, and they offer free shipping on that one.
Okay, so bigger commitment, better price per unit, and free shipping.
That's the structure, yeah.
And how long do they recommend using it to see results?
The suggestion is consistent use for at least 90 to 180 days, 3 to 6 months,
Okay.
which is why they likely structure the bundles that way, encouraging the longer-term supplies to align with that recommendation for optimal results. They also mention the pricing is limited time and availability might change.
Standard marketing, perhaps, but noted. Encouraging longer use. Now, back to the coffee itself, you said tasteless, but really, no impact on my perfect morning cup.
That's the explicit claim. Totally tasteless, dissolves instantly, won't change the flavor of your coffee or anything you add to it, milk, cream, sweetener, whatever.
That's important for coffee lovers. What if someone doesn't drink coffee, though? Can they mix it in, say tea or water?
Well, they acknowledge the individual nutrients might have some benefits regardless,
Yeah.
but the formula is specifically designed for synergy with coffee.
Oh.
The optimal effects they talk about, the metabolism boost, the fat burning, are claimed to happen when it's combined with coffee's natural compounds. So coffee's really the recommended way.
Got it. Coffee's the key. What about shipping times? How long does it usually take?
For the US and Canada, they estimate about 5 to 7 business days. They use carriers like FedEx or UPS.
Okay.
International orders take a bit longer, naturally, maybe 8 to 15 business days, sometimes more depending on customs in the destination country. They do mention rush shipping is available too.
Good to know. And one last check billing. Is it a subscription? Auto ship? Any hidden stuff?
No, they're very clear on that point. It's a one-time payment. Whatever package you choose, you pay for it once. There are no auto ship programs, no hidden charges, no recurring subscriptions.
Straightforward. Okay. So let's just wrap this up. The core idea behind Java Burn is it's a nutritional powder you add to your coffee.
Right.
It has this blend of ingredients: chlorogenic acid, green tea, chromium, L-carnitine, L-theanine, vitamins. And the claim is that this blend works with your coffee synergistically to boost metabolism, help with fat burning, energy, maybe appetite control, all that.
Exactly. It's positioned as a simple addition to a daily habit, aiming to enhance metabolic function and support weight management alongside other potential wellness benefits.
And the ease of use, just stir it in, plus that 60-day guarantee. It makes it a relatively low-risk thing to try, if you're curious.
It does remove a significant barrier. Which leads us to a final thought for you listening. Considering everything we know about metabolic variations and the potential role of natural compounds, could something as simple as optimizing your daily coffee be a piece you're missing in your own wellness journey? If anything we've discussed today about the science, the ingredients, the potential benefits has resonated, maybe it's worth exploring further as you think about your path forward.
If you're interested in this product, the purchase link is in the video description, straight from the official website with full security for you. Reminder, stock is limited due to small batch production, and because of high demand, the price may increase at any time. Affordable price, much lower than conventional cosmetics. Take advantage while it's still available.